Hello everyone. What happened regarding last night's Fed interest rate decision and Fed chairman's press conference? Second, today at what time Trump and Xi are going to meet in South Korea? And third, why Dr. Reddy's ADR crashed 8% last night? All this we are going to discuss in our regular pre-market report video for today, 30th October 2025 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, about last night's Fed interest rate decision and Fed chairman's press conference. As expected, US Fed cut the interest rate by 25 basis points. So the federal fund rate is now in the 3.75 to 4% range. Since it's widely expected, it's a non-event. However, during the press conference, US market had the roller coaster ride. Fed chairman started with the usual story. Things like economic activity is expanding at a moderate pace and job growth has slowed this year, etc. He even mentioned that because of the US government shutdown, there is no official labor data for September month, but based on other metrics, he believes the unemployment rate in the US is still under control. So, those were the good parts. Now, the bad part, maybe because Trump isn't in the US right now, Fed chairman went after the tariffs. He said tariff have increased the goods price. So he is estimating the 12-month September PC inflation, both core and overall, increased to 2.8%. Then came the important bit. When press people asked about the possible rate cut in December month, Fed chairman said it's not a foregone conclusion. Far from it, and apparently within the FOMC committee there's a strong difference of opinion about what to do in December. In simple terms, this is what he said: there is no certain that Fed will cut the interest rate in December month, and within the FOMC committee, members having difference of opinion about cutting the interest rate further in December month. So it's a clear hawkish statement because earlier market was expecting 225 basis point rate cut this year, one in October and one in December. But now Fed chairman is signaling that December rate cut is uncertain, hence this is not good from the market perspective. However, on the positive side, he said from December month they will stop the quantitative tightening. So in response to all this, last night US market was mixed. S&P 500 closed marginally lower, Dow Jones fell 0.15%, but Nasdaq gained 0.55%, all thanks to Nvidia. Then in case of VIX, it increased to 3% and moved closer to 17. Just for info, after the US market closed, three big tech stocks, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook, released their earnings. As a consequence, in the offline market, Google increased near 7%, whereas Facebook dropped massive 8%, and Microsoft was down around 2%. Then about oil, it didn't change much. At the time of this video, WTI crude trading at 60.3 US dollars per barrel, whereas Brent crude traded at 64.3 US dollars per barrel. Regarding Indian ADRs, as it is, both the banking stocks closed positive, whereas both the IT stocks closed negative. But the issue is, yesterday in the Indian market, all these ADR related stocks increased. Hence now Mphasis and Wipro are having the negative arbitrage difference of 1% and ICICI Bank ADR showing negative 0.5% difference. Only HDFC Bank ADR is indicating the positive difference. Then about GIFT Nifty, early morning today it was trading at 26,134. Equating that with the spot market, it was indicating the gap down opening of 50 to 60 points. Please note the status was from early morning 3 a.m. But now today early morning at 6:30 a.m. Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are going to meet in South Korea. And before the meeting, Donald Trump said that he believes US is going to have a deal with China and it will be a good deal for both. So by the time people are watching this video, there is a high possibility that Trump and Xi meeting might be completed and potentially more information related to US-China trade deal might be released. If that's the case, then the Indian market will react to that rather than the Fed interest rate decision. So we need to keep an eye on any news coming from that meeting. Anyway, moving to Indian market related info. Why Dr. Reddy's ADR decreased by 8% last night? In the SEBI filing, Dr. Reddy said that the company had received a notice of non compliance from the Canadian government for their new generic weight loss drug that they were planning to launch. In the filing itself, they said they were confident that they will resolve the issue, but the market didn't take that as positive and the ADR crashed 8%. So today, Dr. Reddy's will be on focus on the Indian market as well. And finally, about quarterly results. Yesterday in the aftermarket hours, L&T, BHEL, United Breweries, and Mahanagar Gas are some of the major companies released their earnings. Here, L&T posted solid 15% profit growth, broadly in line with analyst estimates, whereas revenue and margins came slightly below the expectations, but they got the stronger order inflows and a record order book. So I would say it's mild positive. Then BHEL delivered an impressive set of numbers. Profit tripled, revenue jumped 14%, and margins improved sharply. Clearly, this one beats the estimates and looks very strong. Whereas on the other hand, United Breweries disappointed with profit, which dropped around 50%, and also they had poor margins. Similarly, Mahanagar Gas also reported a steep profit decline with poor margins. So I would say these two stocks not good. So either way, all these stocks will be on focus today. As a summary, last night Fed cut the interest rate by 25 basis points, but Fed chairman said December month rate cut is not certain and this is not good for the market sentiment. US market closed mixed, big tech earnings were very mixed. In line with that, Indian ADRs showing negative arbitrage and GIFT Nifty was indicating the gap down opening. However, the most important thing today is early morning Trump and Xi meeting. If any positive news comes from that meeting regarding US China trade deal, then the market will react to that positively and the gap down might turn into gap up. Anyway, moving on about institution. In the cash market, FII turned as net sellers. The net sold for 2,550 crore rupees and DII net bought for near 5,700 crore rupees. And regarding the participant wise open interest analysis, yesterday was the first session after the monthly expiry. So 3% new index future open interest, 22% new call option open interest, and 40% new put option open interest were added. Because of more new put option addition, PCI ratio increased to 1.13 from 0.99. In terms of stance wise, in the index options, client and proprietary traders having net 5.5% open interest and net 1.2% open interest respectively favoring the bullish stance. On the other hand, FII was having the net negative 5.5%. Whereas in case of index futures, proprietary traders joined hands with FII as both are holding higher short position open interest than the long position open interest. FII was holding 81% of their open interest on the short side and proprietary traders holding 57% of their open interest on the short side. On the other hand, client or retail traders having 65% of their open interest on the long side. Considering all, client is favoring bullish position, FII is favoring the bearish position, and proprietary traders are more of a neutral stance. Then, as per stock open interest, KFin Tech, HFC AMC, Amber Industries, Policy Bazaar, Coal India, and 361 are some of the 41 stocks that got an increased open interest along with a negative close, indicating the short build-up. On the other hand, SAIL, Suzlon, Mphasis, BHEL, Power Grid, BPCL, and NBCC are some of the 108 stocks that got an increased open interest with a positive price close, which means these stocks got the long build up. About the things to look out, earnings wise, ITC, Pidilite Industries, Cipla, Canara Bank, Union Bank of India, United Spirits, Dabur India, Mphasis, and Bandhan Bank are some of the companies scheduled to release their results. So, FMCG, banking, pharma sectors all will be on focus. If ITC and Dabur shows strong consumption revival like HUL, then we could expect the entire FMCG sector to rally. Macro-wise, as we discussed importantly during the day, Trump-Xi meeting is scheduled on the sidelines of APEC summit. This is a very important meeting after 6 years. So any positive or negative development from this meeting expects to influence the global momentum and our Indian market. In addition, in the afternoon, UK interest rate decision is due. Market is expecting Bank of England to keep the rate unchanged at 4%. So as long as no surprise, we don't need to worry about this. And in the night for US, weekly jobs data are the important things we need to keep an eye out today. Coming to technical, Nifty opened 50 points gap up, and after an initial hour of volatility, it gained strength and sustained above the 26,000 mark for rest of the session. Then it finally closed at around 26,050, the highest closing level since September 27, 2024. Thus, on the daily chart, Nifty formed a bullish candle with a minor upper shadow, indicating a positive trend despite some profit booking. In addition, it also sustained well above all key moving averages, which continued to trend upward. Meanwhile, RSI climbed to 72 and MACD also trended higher, both indicating continued bullish momentum in the market. Hence, the immediate support is at 25,850, below which Nifty might slip into the consolidation zone. On the higher end, once Nifty decisively moves above 26,100, it is likely to advance towards 26,300 to 26,500 in the short term. In case of Bank Nifty, it also opened 100 points gap up and had some volatility in the morning. Then it gained strength and was positive for rest of the session. Then closed above 58,350. Thus, on the daily chart, Bank Nifty also formed a small bullish candle with a long lower shadow, indicating a positive trend with buying interest at lower level. In addition, the key moving averages continued their upward movement, while RSI is at 74, also trended higher, and MACD also maintained its bullish bias, all indicating ongoing strength in the Bank Nifty. Hence, 58,400 to 58,500 zone will act as the immediate resistance, and if Bank Nifty manages to move above 58,500, then the pullback can continue further towards 59,000 level. On the downside, 58,100 to 58,000 zone will act as the crucial support. Regarding the options front, the maximum call option openers was at 27,000 strike, followed by 26,500 and 26,200, with maximum new call option writing at similar levels. On the other hand, the maximum put option openers was at 26,000 strike, followed by 25,900 and 25,800, with maximum new put option writing at 26,000, 26,100 and 25,900 strike. Thus, from options data, it indicates that Nifty's immediate resistance is at 26,200 to 26,500 zone with crucial support at 26,000. So that's all in this video. Hope you got some information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.